7th edition of the MaxiMICE Conclave was held in Mumbai recently. MaxiMICE is EVENTFAQs' flagship platform for discussions and shared knowledge in achieving excellence in channel partner and stakeholder marketing.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to set tone for this evening and open up to the theme of this year's conference. I'm delighted to announce the keynote address titled The Value of Channel Partners to the Success of an Organization. Well, yes, we didn't really have to look high and low because, yes, we found the right person to present the keynote address this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Welcome on stage the strategic advisor and the former managing director of Pfizer India, the one and only Mr. Keval Handa.
The world has changed. The largest media company owns no content. Facebook. The world has changed. The largest retail company owns no inventory. Alibaba. The world has really changed. Welcome to the new world. It's an asset-light world. It's a very complex world. Your success depends upon your networkers today. And their success depends upon you. This is a different world. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a world of channel partnering today. It is very important that you strategize the entire process of channel partnering. First, always follow the simple principle. Keep it simple. Focus resources on few partners, but strong partners. Wherever you are, whoever you're partnering at, don't forget, your brand should be bigger than your vendor or the channel partner brand. Second, never forget the customer you are servicing. The other thing that you need to be very careful of is who owns the inventory and where the inventory is stored. In terms of conflict, that becomes a major issue. Pay a good lawyer, but spend time in defining how the contractual agreements work in channel partners. The third party's liabilities, the consumer liabilities are going to be very heavy on you if you don't take care of the channel partners. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, moving on, it's now time for us to have a panel discussion. Well, our first panel discussion is on challenges in managing stakeholders of an organization, opportunities to revolutionize stakeholder engagement programs. To carry forward discussions on this topic, I'd like to invite on stage the moderator of this session. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Navneet Mohan.
So I'll get Rajesh to take it first from an HR point of view. Who are your stakeholders? And what are the common challenges you face while designing a program for your stakeholders?
From an HR perspective, I think employees are our biggest stakeholders, and their engagement is something which we formally measure. So we have an annual survey which measures the extent of the engagement. And if you talk about other stakeholders, at least for a company like Tata Motors, we have vendors which are a huge stakeholder, and then you have our channel partners, which are another huge stakeholders. And from an employee's perspective, what matters today is, and even from another stakeholder's perspective, you need to touch his heart. So any kind of intervention that you can think of possibly needs to touch his heart. But from a business perspective, an intervention is successful only if it touches your bottom line. Okay, because there's no point in having an intervention which says that it's a nice to do thing, but it doesn't impact business. So then those kind of interventions probably will last you for 1 year, 2 years. Then somebody in the management will start questioning you in terms of what is it that you're actually doing.
Achieved. Coming to Satya, Satya, you belong to a very different industry, right? It's oil and lubricants. So can you just explain your stakeholders for who you design these kind of programs from your industry perspective?
I think for us, the prime stakeholders are our channel partners and employees. That's pretty important. And I think our distributors and employees are our biggest brand ambassadors. So how you keep them engaged, how do you make them talk the same language, how do you make them demonstrate the brand values and the organizational values, that's very important. And once you do that, I think the organizational progress, that's how we work.
Great. Moving on to Sanjay and Vishal, both of you belong to a similar industry, so I'll get Sanjay to talk about your stakeholders in the insurance financial sector.
Well, if you look at insurance, like when you think about engagement, first the channel partner comes into picture, because it was always told insurance is sold, not bought. So that's the premise of insurance. Like for generations, like from years, it is sold either through agents or now through, let's say, banking partners or broker partners. Or
but sorry to interrupt, but isn't that changing slightly now?
Yeah, it is changing slightly. Like people are coming online, people are coming digital and buying, but still a big organization like ours or LIC or maybe Birla, ICICI, still the size, like majority of the business still with the channel partners, and it will not happen overnight because India is still underpenetrated, and digital, whatever we try, will not really reach the common man or like to the rural area in let's say next 3 to 5 years. 5 years afterwards, things will definitely drastically will change. Digital will grow very fast, but not at the rate where it will completely replace the channel partner kind of thing.
Vishal, what are the challenges you face internally in your company in the segment when you design a program for any of your stakeholders?
Employees bit, if I talk about, I just want to add one critical point. One critical stakeholder which is there today in the employee segment is beyond the individual employee, his family also. Because today what's happening, if you're doing a regular rewards and recognition program or other engagement program, the critical thing which is coming up is what's not only for me but also for my family. The other challenges in terms of within sales, within a corporate function, we have a set of employees. Sales is always which take the big pie. So from an engagement perspective, when you're doing a loyalty program or you're doing an engagement program, it's also critical to ensure that beyond sales, the non-sales guys also have, I would say, a decent representation. Beyond this, if you see, attrition is a big time issue. So there is always a new face coming into the company. So how would you engage the rookies also which are coming into the company? The bigger challenge today also is, it's slightly, I would say, related to the top level in hierarchy, as Maslow's hierarchy we call it as. The game has also changed from becoming an individual participant into the program to a team participation. And last but not the least, on this point, I would like to say that like all of us are into this kind of initiatives regularly, so monotony sets in some place. Right. So how innovative you are, how you are using gamification formats to engage people. So it may not be higher destinations and higher monetary rewards which you're paying, but what kind of gamifications which you can use through technologies, through simple things like scratch card, where there is an element of luck, also kind of is an additional value when we design a construct.
There is immense opportunity for agencies and intermediaries in the industry to actually partner with corporates to improve their programs. That's very encouraging for us because this is the audience that we actually look to bring together in platforms like MaxiMICE. So another encouraging year, and I hope that we can take it forward from here next year.
Move on to our second panel discussion, the experiential opportunities in engaging high-profile stakeholders. To moderate this session, I have the honor to invite on stage Sushil Wadhwa.
So my first question is, Tamanna, for you. What would be your kind of high-profile stakeholder, and what are your usual engagement programs with them?
For us, the high stakeholders are your agents, your point of sale, because at the end of the day, they are the guys who are carrying my brand forward to the customer. They are the people who are identifying the customers, identifying the need, pitching my product, building the trust for me and for my brand. So they're definitely my high stakeholders.
With Animesh coming from a banking background, you would again have a different set of high-profile stakeholders and what you can do for them as well to engage them.
So for a banking place, Sushil, anybody who gives you money is high profile. Anybody who helps you get money, which is the intermediaries, are high profile. And by definition, all regulators, whether they come from shops and establishments or from the RBI, are high profile. How you engage them, what you do, what you don't do, I think is lots of ways to do this. So whether it was when we were engaging the entire investor community, people who were giving us money to invest in India, having the FM was most relevant. To come and talk to them about what was happening in India, where was India headed, what was his plan on the fiscal deficit and all of that. And that's what they were interested in hearing. Whereas we actually ran an event which was around a health platform. So we created an entire community around improving your health. So there were 130 treasury people from across Indian and multinational organizations that became very good friends of the institutional salesperson who's out there going and looking at getting them to invest money with IDFC, AMC rather than somebody else. So moot point, you need to keep it topical.
Pharma companies, you should give us some perspective on that because I know that's been around since a long time, code of conduct and compliance issues on what you can do, whom you can take. So would you like to share your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. In healthcare, essentially the patient is at the center of all that we do. And this industry is unique in a couple of aspects. One is because we promote to doctors, essentially, here is a business model where the seller knows less about the product than the buyer. And that's an absolute unique industry, qualification. At the same time, yes, there's a very strong set of compliance policies around healthcare professionals, around patients for certain, because the patient is not a decision maker in many cases, and hence there has to be a lot of regulations that need to be governed, rightfully so.
In your industry, do you have any compliance issues for such activities?
No, I think, insurance is a highly regulated industry in India and globally as well. So there are clearly boundaries laid down by the regulator, and you have to play well within that boundary. You have to understand what the boundary really defines. And in that context, I don't think having these trips or doing anything which in a way helps you impart knowledge or helps your intermediary, be a better person or a better individual in terms of the business that he does, can we impart more skills onto him? So a lot of these events are actually around those kind of platforms. So these are the few things which are important. I think if you, within the regulatory framework, there's enough and more opportunity to do things for the right reasons.
Fantastic.
Meetings and Events Hong Kong was one of the prominent partners of the MaxiMICE event and showcased Hong Kong as a go-to MICE destination in Asia.
Like Hong Kong is Asia's kind of a world city, and it's a great destination to be. It's like kind of, it's like kind of a city which has got a mix of east and west. It's also got a city which has got the sea and the mountains together. You've got the green outdoors, yet you've got the urban landscape and the urban excitement which is there, nightlife, venues, the cruises, like food of kind of from all of the world. So Hong Kong is a great destination for any kind of incentive to take place.
Witnessed the very first edition of the MaxiMICE Experiential Venues Awards, instituted to recognize and celebrate those venues that support the ever-growing appetite of the Indian MICE industry. Sabaz Joseph of Event and Entertainment Management Association of India delivered the opening address.
On behalf of everyone from the event industry, we applaud each of you as we begin this event.
KPMG was the process partner and Chandrasekhar Manta highlighted the process adopted for the awards.
All the best to you, and we had a good time validating this process and seeing through that everything is independent, objective, things like that.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, with us on stage is Mr. Manta. I'm going to request you to kindly remain on stage, sir. And to join Mr. Manta on stage, may we please have a huge round of applause and re-invite on stage Mr. Sabaz Joseph, President, EMA, back on stage for our first set of awards.
So ladies and gentlemen, let's quickly nosedive into our first set of awards. And this category is India's most favorite and friendly event chain.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage the Leela Palaces Hotels and Resorts. The next segment of awards has two categories in which the entries were invited from venues. The first category is
Best MICE Marketing Initiative or Loyalty Program of the Year by a Hotel/Chain. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ritz-Carlton, Bangalore. Let's have a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Now for the second category in the same segment, Best Responsible Innovation of the Year by a Hotel or Chain. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner in this category is the ITC Grand Chola, Chennai. And now we move on to our next segment of awards for tonight. To present these next awards, may we please have on stage Mr. Sunil Puri, the Managing Director, Mileage Communications India, representing Hong Kong Tourism, and Mr. Deepak Chaudhary, the Director of Event Capital.
So right, ladies and gentlemen, the first category in this segment is Best Convention Hotel Metro.
JW Marriott Hotel New Delhi, Aerocity.
Moving on to our next category, it is the Best Convention Hotel Destination.
Fairmont, Jaipur.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving into our next category,
which is the Best Convention Hotel Tier 2.
May we please have the name?
JW Marriott, Pune.
Congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I
Thank
will
you
take
very
this away
much.
from you. Thank you, sir. Moving on to our next category, we've got the Best Incentive Hotel Metro. To present this award, please join us in welcoming on stage EMA NEC members, Mrs. Shishma Gaikwad, Director, ICE Global, and Mr. Rahul Gomes, Director, Oak Management Consultancy.
Taj Faluknama Palace.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on and request for our next category, which is Best Incentive Hotel Destination.
Grand Hyatt Goa.
The Best Incentive Hotel Tier 2. So, ladies and gentlemen,
The Leela Kovala.
thank you, Rahul. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am and sir. Thank you very much.
And the next category is Small Best Hotel for Meetings and Incentives under 100 rooms.
All
Ladies
right.
and gentlemen, to present this award, may we please invite on stage Mr. Vinod Janardhan, the Managing Director, Team Rustic, and Mr. Shaju Ignatius, Head and Chief Collaboration, Optimal X The Times Group.
Wildflower Hall, Shimla.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move to our next category,
which is Best Venue for Launches Metro.
The winner for Best Venue for Launches Metro is the Grand Hyatt Mumbai. Congratulations.
Okay, the best venue for launches Tier 2.
Hotel Novotel, Visakhapatnam, Varun Beach.
Our next category, the Best Convention and Exhibition Center of India. And ladies and gentlemen, to announce the name of the winner, may we please invite on stage Mr. Sushil Vadva, Founder, Chairman and Managing Director, Platinum World Group, and Navneet Mohan, CEO, Laksha Live Experiences.
Best Convention Exhibition Center of India is HICC.
Moving on, Best Non-Traditional Venue.
Kingdom of Dreams.
Our next category, ladies and gentlemen.
Promising New Property of the Year.
Okay, promising new property of the year, JW Marriott Sahar.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us. Our next category, which is Best Global Hotel Sales Network Outbound. We'd like to invite on stage our presenters, ladies and gentlemen. First up, Director 70 EMG, Mr. Tanush Joseph. And of course, he's going to be joined by Mr. Daryl Sheldon, Director 77 Entertainment. There he is.
Starwood Hotels and Resorts Worldwide.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the last category of this evening, the Best Domestic Hotels Sales Network.
Taj Hotels Resorts.
There you go. Let's have a big round of applause.
Heartiest congratulations, Taj. Congratulations to all our winners on the inaugural edition of the Experiential Venue Awards 2015. Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a fun evening. Till we meet you again, next edition of Experiential Venue Awards. Have a fabulous evening.
EVENTFAQS Media as a platform represents everything that's amazing about the event, experiential marketing and MICE industry. And we felt it was high time to recognize and celebrate the venues that support this industry. And really, Experiential Venues Awards is nothing but a celebration of these spectacular venues pan-India.
We are used to it to organize events for other people, and I think it's a fabulous opportunity that somebody is thinking about the hoteliers and somebody is thinking about the business itself, to giving a platform where to bring the best of the best on a stage. So we feel very humbled and we are thankful for that.
I think Grand Hyatt Goa being launched in Goa, I think we induced demand in the city. I don't think we took away business from any of the hotels that's been there around. I think we've brought character into the country, and I think the GTDC and the Goa Tourism and all of them are more than grateful for us to be able to bring this kind of MICE event space and the number of inventory of rooms that we have. I think it's been a success story for us right from the time we launched it.
It's a great platform to be here, and it's great to see how the outbound global business has been growing out of India. India as a market is now looked down by almost all the destinations, right from US to Asia Pacific, and Starwood has a presence all across the world. With over 1,200 hotels, we are prominent in all key destinations, and our partners who work with us, the event managers, they really look at a support from us to find destinations for them, and our hotels really work around that to make it happen.